In December 2020, the world eagerly awaited the new year, clinging to the hope of leaving behind a year filled with hardship, a pandemic, lockdowns, and economic struggles. In a small town in the northeastern United States, the Whites family decided to celebrate the holiday in a remote mountain cabin. The cabin was a cozy retreat, nestled among ancient pine trees. Snow blanketed the landscape, turning it into a scene straight out of a Christmas postcard. Jack and Mary, the parents, brought their two children, teenager Alex and 8-year-old Lily. They planned a quiet celebration with games, cooking, and enjoying the snowy wilderness. The first evening passed peacefully, but the following day, strange occurrences began. While sledding near the cabin, Lily noticed a dark figure in the distance. It was tall with indistinct edges, almost as if it were dissolving into the air. Frightened, she ran back to the house but didn't tell anyone, afraid they'd dismiss her as imagining things. Meanwhile, Alex found an old journal in the attic. At first, it seemed like a farmer's log, noting weather and daily chores. But the final entries took a sinister turn. The author wrote about something that emerged from the forest every winter, near New Year's Eve. They described hearing bells and seeing shadows outside the windows, each time drawing closer. The next night, the family gathered by the fireplace, enjoying Christmas music. But around midnight, faint bells sounded from far off in the forest. Jack dismissed it as hunters or rangers, but the sound grew louder, stopping right outside the door. Lily, curious, ran to the window, only to freeze in fear. Footprints crisscrossed the snow outside, as though a group of people had circled the cabin. But no one was visible. The following day, Jack visited an elderly neighbor, Harold, who lived nearby. Harold shared a chilling tale. Decades ago, in the early 1900s, a group of local children vanished into the woods on New Year's Eve. Despite days of searching, villagers found only scraps of clothing and broken toys scattered near an ancient oak tree. Ever since, people believed that the children's spirits haunted the forest. "Stay inside at night," Harold warned. "And if you hear bells, for God's sake, don't open the door." Jack laughed it off as an old man's superstition. On December 31st, as the storm howled outside, the family huddled around the fireplace. The wind rattled the windows, carrying an unsettling sound, bells, growing louder and nearer. At midnight, as the clock struck 12, there was a knock at the door. It was loud and deliberate, 3 sharp raps. The family froze. "It's probably Harold, here to wish us a happy new year," Jack said, heading for the door. "Don't open it," Lily screamed, but it was too late. Jack opened the door, and an icy gust swept into the room. No one was there, only snow and darkness. Then, the shadows began to move. They coalesced into a massive figure, its eyes glowing like burning embers. The creature stepped forward, and chaos erupted. By morning, the cabin stood silent and empty. Neighbors found nothing but footprints leading deep into the woods. Inside, the fireplace was cold, and the clock had stopped at exactly 12:01. The Whites were never seen again. Every New Year's Eve since, locals have reported hearing faint bells in the distance. Those brave enough to peek outside claim to see shadowy figures slowly approaching their homes.